So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is a really unscripted video which I'm making right now. And I'm making it because I've got a challenge and a choice that I want to work through, an ideal coaching topic. And I suddenly thought, I know, I'll use my Genie, I often do this when I want to work through a problem on my own. And I thought, no, I'll video it and show people what happens when you use your Genie. So here we go. If you don't know what this Genie is, this is a bit like one of those things you played with at school, which is like a fortune teller. But instead of telling your fortune, the way I think about my Genie is this helps you create your future instead of just telling your fortune. It's a play on words really, I know. But you've got four spaces for 4 goals on here. So I'm just going to work with one today, which says I want to have an outdoor studio space, an office. I want to kind of stop working from home. I want to rent a space so I can have both a studio for my painting but combine it with an office space. So that's what I'm going to work with my Genie. Now what you can do, you don't have to do this, but I think it's quite fun. You can kind of go studio, okay, S-T-U-D-I-O. And inside there are 4 questions now. And you just pick one that you want to start with. So I'm going to ask myself this. Okay. Ooh, first question that springs to mind is, what have I tried in the past that worked? Now, in relation to having a studio, I have in the past tried to rent a space in a sort of joint studio area. I did this about 10 years ago, and it was quite a small space, and I kind of basically lugged all my stuff up there. I was pregnant at the time, hardly used it. It wasn't that much money, but it was. I felt really lonely as well, and hardly anyone went there and used the space. But it was also quite small, and I couldn't really put loud music on and do whatever I wanted. And also, I was just about to have a baby, so it probably wasn't the best time to try that. But considering it was a joint space, I still kind of felt really lonely. Another time I've kind of rent studios for a week or so just to kind of finish off projects, but that's really unsettling because you kind of have to commit to a whole week of nothing else, and you still have to lug your stuff there. And I also recently explored another space really close to home that would make a great studio, but I don't know, there were lots of things about it that just weren't feeling right, and the chap just really wasn't interested in letting me use his space. And in terms of an office, I've done all sorts of things. I've tried hot desking, I've gone into Bristol and just used great places just for a day at a time, really low cost. But again, you're lugging everything to and fro every day. And I'm really someone that needs to have their resources all around them, my books, my music, my paint, everything, and to be able to leave stuff out and to kind of be in a real cocoon with it all. So going kind of hot desking just doesn't work. So they're the main things that I've tried so far in the past. So I'm going to do another question, okay? So let's flip my Genie. You can just flip it anyway. Now, it says here, what are the benefits of achieving this? So it's kind of an obvious question really, but the benefits of having an outdoor or an outside of the house office and studio is ultimately productivity, because at the moment I mostly work in this very small office which is in my home, and whereas I like to pretend I don't get distracted, I really do. I kind of I don't do much housework during the day, don't get me wrong, I'm not there putting the washing out and all this. But I think I work at quite a sedentary pace really, whereas when if I look back to times when I've worked in a proper job, I kind of go there at 9 o'clock in the morning and I crack on, and I really like that kind of the structure that going to somewhere else gives you. So I think that helped my productivity. But also, in terms of my painting, I have a space by the side of my bed at the moment where I produce amazing work, considering it's just in my bedroom and my poor husband doesn't have much space in our bedroom and all this. But I think it's time to really kind of be a bit more serious about my painting work and actually say, I just need a proper space. I need to be able to get messy and kind of roll things on the floor and splosh paint about. So this is a real question of productivity for me, and I had a bit of a kind of taste of this last year where I kind of went and worked in my lounge here, so I had paintings around and I had the computer there, and I quite liked being able to kind of do half an hour of painting, then sit down at the computer and do a blog or something, and that worked really well, having that combined space. So that's one of the benefits. I think also it just might give me a kick up the bum to work a bit harder and see my business in a much more serious light. And I don't mean in a kind of serious, like, not playful way, but to really say, actually, I need to earn this money to get the space and keep the space and what have you. And I think there's also something about shifting it to the next level, so that's another big benefit. And also kind of in my head, okay, so just an idea, whimsical, but I reckon that I could cycle to where this place is. It's a 10-minute drive, and even me in my kind of like really rubbish space, sort of cycling pace, can't take me more than 45 minutes, I wouldn't have thought. Do you think? I don't know. So I could even get fit. Yeah, I could actually. I mean, I know I'm probably mostly going to drive there, but even if I like cycled once a week, that would be really quite cool. So there's some of the benefits. So let's see what else we can ask in here. So what are the main obstacles that are in the way? Oh, God. Unfortunately, loads spring to mind. Lots of the reason to self-coach right now is because I'm imagining the conversation with my husband, which is basically focuses on money. And, you know, one of the obstacles is purely, can I cover the rent for this place every month? And, you know, I have quite a... my income goes like this, you know, for any of you that are self-employed, sort of sometimes it can be a bit of a roller coaster, and that's something I struggle to get used to, but in terms of committing to a regular payment is quite a big thing actually. But even one of the obstacles is my husband himself, because you know, to have that conversation with him, I'm imagining all sorts of stuff he's going to bring up, which isn't helpful. So can you even see like my energy levels dropped as I'm talking? It's amazing really. And he's so supportive, don't get me wrong, but kind of think he is a bit of an obstacle. And he's also great at being quite a levelling force. So I'm kind of like, oh, idea, look. And he's quite good at kind of going, yes, but, and bringing me back to reality a bit. The other obstacles are, you know, I still need to pick up my daughter at 3:30 every day. She's only 10, and whereas my older daughter's got a key now, and it's a bit easier with her. You know, for the next couple of years, I'm still, you know, needing to do the school thing and be home by 4. And I do have some after-school clubs some days, etc. But that is a challenge, you know. What was the question again? Can you remember? I think it was about the obstacles in the way. Actually, it isn't an obstacle, but it's just led me to another benefit, is that, you know, if I'm not here, people won't expect me to be here for the odd coffee, or to just drop in on, or to ask me favours, which it doesn't happen much, but it is a bit of a thing, where if you go somewhere, kind of you're just not there to be able to do that, which is probably a really good thing for me. Let's ask another question. So, who could I talk to that might be able to help? Well, clearly I'm talking to myself, and I'm talking to you sort of right now. And one of the reasons I wanted to video this was because talking out loud helps me really think things through much easier. I could talk to my own coach, but I'd quite like to kind of suss this all out myself really. I could talk to, well, clearly I've got to talk to my husband, you know, can't escape that. I could talk to the man as well, I mean, who owns the place. I have talked to him a bit today, but, oh, hang on, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, sorry about that. I could talk to the man himself, and maybe I might be able to strike a bit of a deal with him. I'm just wondering about whether I can get it at a slightly lower rent for the first year or something. That would be really good. Who else could I talk to? I mean, Paul, who's a friend of a friend, he's very commercial and he's kind of so good at negotiating. I mean, I kind of wonder about that, but it's quite a different environment to the one he's usually working in. I don't know. Right, let's just ask another question. So, what are the benefits of not having the studio? Well, it says actually in here, what are the benefits of not achieving this? So for me, what are the benefits of not getting the studio? Well, there are loads. I mean, you know, that money I can sort of pay myself every month extra, which I doubt I will pay myself the extra, but, you know, there's that side. So saving money is something. I don't have to risk failing. That's always a big issue, kind of like, you know, what if it doesn't work out? You know, I don't have to take that risk if I don't do this. What are the other benefits of it not working out? Well, I think, you know, I can just stay quite safe. And also there's something about kind of doing it all from here which is quite kind of like, yeah, I run this business and I run it just from this tiny room, and yeah, I paint these paintings but I just do it in my bedroom, and aren't I, you know, I don't know, it's not, I don't think it's it, but I think it might be a bit of a thing in me that I managed to do all I do on a shoestring, and I'm quite proud of that. That makes sense? Okay. I'm just going to ask one more question because I've been talking for quite a long time. So there's a question which in here which says, what does your inner voice say about this? So essentially, what does my intuition, my inner voice say about all of this? And I really have known for some time that I need to do this, make this move. I'm really scared, but you know, I work with people all the time, helping them to not be, or not be scared, but to kind of embrace that and still do things. So there's something about here about walking my talk. So all my clients are listening. Yeah, there we go. And I think there's also something about things have shifted to a different place lately, and actually, rather than seeing it as a, you know, a possible downside, that the opportunities for working better and more productively, I think, are huge. And it will overcome all sorts of sort of problems I've got at the moment with how I work at home. I think my intuition says, you know, now's the time. And although in my head I wanted to wait until my youngest was at big school, I don't think my painting can wait any longer. I kind of think maybe the office side of things, you know, the kind of worky work stuff, might be able to wait, but my painting can't, and my painting's waited like 25 years already. And also there's, you know, the more I think about it, the benefits of doing this really outweigh all of those benefits of not doing it. So, just the way I've talked to you for ages, there's another section in the middle of your Genie which helps you kind of plan action steps, but I'm not going to do that now with you because I just wanted to do that bit of thinking out loud and show you what the Genie can do. So if you've got a Genie, try and dig it out and have a play with it. And kind of the whole recording